Those are okay. That can go. I gotta get a pile of stuff that can go back. This stays in the toolbox. Same with this. Where is. That looks weird. That goes there. This can go up here. Yeah. The hammer goes there. Put these away. Ash. Oh, wrong glass. How's it going, Ashley? Thanks for checking in. There, that's better. Shoot. Put those in there. I'm just doing some cleanup. Big project done, I think not completely done, but we are on the way to start potentially doing initial fire up with the new injectors and the new controller. So I'm pretty freaking jazzed about that and the whole potential possibilities that could be because of everything being right and more modern. I'm going to go over what was done, and then I'm going to show what I got done and go from there. So I'm okay today. I actually took half a day off of work. Just needed that time to I wanted to get this done, and I'll show what this is in a minute. I started on it yesterday, and it's a lot of wiring and figuring and other things. And my brain works weird in that I have to be in a certain frame of mind to do wiring and other things. And I still made a mistake, which I could fix, but it's the whole idea. I'm like, darn it, which I'll point out later. So today, I had to help my mom with something anyway. Some other things came about, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and take half a day and help mom out, work on this, just to have my mental health, whatever had to be done to get myself more gooder, if that's a term, more gooder. Good God. All right, so what I'm going to do, Ashley, I guess you're the only one here. I guess everybody else is either working or just doesn't care. So I'm in the process of, bear with me, I'm in the process of putting tools and trying to clean up the trailer. The game plan is, I don't know if we're going to try firing it up today. Probably not. The game plan is to try and fire it up sometime this weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. And then we have to go through the setup wizard on the ECU, and then we're going to let the car run so it can adjust. And if all that goes well, the game plan is to clean up the trailer, wrap up any loose ends on the car, get everything ready to go, and hopefully next weekend, Island Dragway perhaps, for test and tune, just to see what the car does now that it's set up correctly, more gooder, something like that. So all right, guys. So I'm going to grab the stick here, and I am going to flip the camera around here and I'll show you what we have going on. So it looks a little different. So as you can, first thing you're going to notice is the wire harness is different, which I have to finish mounting relays and fuses on the firewall. I just didn't do it yet. I'm going to wait until, but yeah, I have it coming through there, nice grommet. I have the O2 sensor coming up along the dipstick there so it stays off of any heat off of the exhaust head. And you can see there's some pretty decent amount of clearance there, so it won't burn the wire. So I was kind of felt good. I was kind of worried at first, but it looks like we got a lot of good clearance there. So I tried to wire everything smoothly and as neatly as I could. It still looks like a mess, especially this wire, but this is for the setup screen that ties in for initial setup. But I tried to zip tie things and try and keep everything somewhat neat. That's a little bit of a rat's nest. I'm going to work on that some more, but I figure for initial startup that should be okay. I also have to and there she is. What's up?
Levi doesn't want to sweep, so I say just need to sweep a minute.
Okay.
That's the other.
And Sadie has to remember I asked her to do something to go through those 2 bags, so she has to do that too.
Yeah, she's hanging up the wash, and then as I said, he can
right.
sweep, and then he can do his.
Yeah, what he does. All right, so there I am having to be dad again. Anyway, bye to everybody. Bye. Bye. All right, so back to it. So the rat's nest, we have that, which it is what it is. Well, nobody wants to Sadie, no.
Hi.
All right, hi.
Say hi.
Hi, there you are. Okay.
Hi.
Hey, can you, when you're done with the wash,
She told me to do the clothesline.
well, do that. And then Ashley's saying hi, by the way.
Oh, hi.
And when you're done with that, remember the 2 bags I asked you to go through, okay? All right.
We gotta go in step order, right?
Huh?
So we gotta go in the step order?
Yeah. Okay, like that. Yes. So, ran all this, all the injector harnesses. That isn't zip tied at all. I just made sure everything goes to the right number injector this time. I'm going to clean that up then, but for initial fire up, I kind of want to leave it like that. And then we have our loom here. I got to loom these wires for the line lock and gauges and stuff. So I'm going to loom that, but I'm leaving that open for now until I get some loom. However, I did rig this up for an air temp sensor away from the engine. I put it here on top of the radiator and zip tied it here with a mount. So that's it's not perfectly clean. Especially this, I got to work on that, but we'll see. I may loom some of that, or I'm sure Lloyd will have a fit about it. So, but we actually wired this better. Instead of having it tapped, we actually soldered and shrink wrapped it, so that way it's a better connection for 12 volt power. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm going in and then I had, geez, dropped you guys again. So back here, I would first start underneath the car. We had to cut wires out of the harness for the fuel pump. So what I did is I don't know if you can see it up there, but there's where we soldered in to the factory harness. The purple wire hanging there is for a fuel level, and we don't need that. We just need power and ground so we can power it. So ran all new wire, 12 gauge wire all the way through, and then we ran it into the trunk area, so that way it's protected. I wanted to do mostly inside the car, so that way the wiring isn't so exposed to the elements. So, now with that being said, I don't have it completely zip tied and everything perfect, so you can see where it's coming through here. I have some extra here that's a ground wire, so I wanted to make sure I had enough. I may do something where I just have it follow the contour. But then there's the power wire for the fuel pump, which is, now that's the ECU harness for the power and ground, but then there's also another power wire for the fuel injectors. So went ahead and ran that all there, and you can see where the roll bar is. I screwed up, so I have to fix that yet, so that way it all runs nice and smooth. So I've got to clean that up yet, but everything else is pretty much zip tied or in loom, and it or will be in loom shortly with that. So with that being said, that's what I've been up to, is wiring that all up. The only thing left to do at this point, which I don't think I'm going to have time today, because it's just, as you can see, the kids are crazy and it's Friday, is the, I'll show you here in the book, that's what's next, is initial power up, and then I got to go through these steps here of initial setup of getting the ECU powered up, getting the ECU, well, I got to do initial setup. I got to set up the IAC position. I forget what percentage, but I got to have that set. So I actually took the adjustment all the way out of the throttle body, so that way everything's at zero and closed. So I think what we're going to do is when we power it up, I'm sure there's going to be a step to set initial throttle position, and then that's where I'm going to go ahead and redo all that. So now it's at zero, so that way everything starts fresh. Oh, I also wanted to show kind of just a hilarious thing, since I saw Shuggy's on here. Thanks for checking in, by the way. I think she made the comment about my wiring under the dash and how messy it was. It's funny because now she's living in my head rent free, so now I'm trying to wire this thing. Now, it's not zip tied, but I'm going to show you inside here. It's, the darn thing isn't working for, you can't see really well, but it's a lot cleaner than it was. Once I get that zip tied, and I still have my wiring cut apart, that's going to get zip tied. But all that other wiring is gone. That's factory harness, factory wiring, stuff that was adding weight to the car. By the way, I took all that stuff I cut out and I put it in a bag. And Shuggy, when I get that zip tied, I'm gonna be putting it on here, and it better meet your freaking approval or else. But I made a bag here. This is all. That's all the wires I cut out of it. So what I want to do is I want to take that bag and I want to place it on a scale, and I want to see how much it weighs, so we know how much weight we took out of the car with just this. So the simple thing of finding out why the car is nosing over has turned into a huge scale thing. So just to recap, like the last month, 5 weeks, since we went to Maple Grove, so we rewired the alternator wire to a 4-gauge wire. In that process, somehow we fried the old ECU, which I think is a result of the undersized injectors that were way too small for this combination. So I'm 90% sure that's why the car was nosing over, was the injectors were just way too small. Oh no, it wasn't a dig, Shuggy. You know what, Shuggy? I like it because what it does, it's not a dig. It becomes like a challenge, and it pushes me to do better, to think outside the box, to be like, hey, how can I do this better? What's this? What's that? How can I make it better? So basically all it did was you like push me, and I needed that. And for what we're doing here with the new Holley ECU and injectors and building race cars and going fast and making horsepower, that's what we need. We need people pushing. I need people pushing me. I got Lloyd pushing, but he can only do so much. He's got his deal. I got people like Shuggy who's like, hey, this and that, and it's great. It's awesome. And Shuggy, I don't know where you're from, and you probably told me, I don't remember shit, but it's like I want to get videos up and stuff of this car, because I have a feeling and Lloyd's gonna go. I want to get video of this car launching. Shuggy, it's gonna be you pushing me. This car's gonna run the way it's gonna run because I have a thing. This thing is it's gonna light up pretty darn nice. So that's why talk with Lloyd. All the wiring I did was actually oversized. Usually I use 14 gauge. I use 12 gauge, which is a thicker wire for all my wiring. That way there's less resistance. That way you can get more current through it. So that was the goal. Again, I said the other day, my goal was to get this car not only running fast, but running consistent, and it's reliable, you know, and getting to where I could have confidence behind the wheel again. Because I told Lloyd today, when I saw him at work, I said, you know, we get this car out this year yet, which I think we can. If we get this car out this year and the thing runs good, I said, pressure's on me then. I got to push myself, which means I got to go to the gym. I got to lose weight. I got to practice that tree. I got to get my reaction times down. I got to focus. I got to be able to focus, get my mind trained to focus, to cut a good reaction time. And all that stuff. And I got to actually sit in the car blindfolded and be able to do different things to train myself. And those are the things I'm going to work on. If this car is doing what it's supposed to do, I need to do my job. You know, that's how it is. And if I can do that over the winter and get myself back, and the car, like I said, there's one deal that looks like it might come through. And if that happens, this car is going to be scary. It's going to be that good. So, that's the plan. And with this ECU in there and the wiring, and now having the fuel system to support this particular combination, this car should run well around the number we were projecting before. I don't see why not. Like I said, I called Holly, not only about the ECU, but I called them about what injectors I should run. And I found out I was like 3 sizes, I was 3 sizes too small in my injector size. So we went from a 30 to a 36 pound injector in it now. If we do cylinder heads, we might have to go up to a 42. I don't know. But for the way it is right now, they said 36 would be fine. You'll have plenty of space with that size injector. So I'm going to do that. We have the 36 pound injector. We have the Holley Terminator X ECU with the self-tuning capability. So when we fire this thing up, we got to let it run. And then as it idles, it's going to learn itself. And then as we drive, hey, not near the porch. Sorry, guys. Come on. Levi, over here in the grass. So anyway, Levi's having a ding again. Imagine that, shocker. But anyway, so that's, if we don't do the cylinder heads, we're still going to have it on the dyno over the winter and see if we can fine tune it. If we do the cylinder heads, that's going to add even more grunt to this thing. And then we're definitely going to be doing dyno time there as well to make sure we get this thing dialed in. So, yeah. So I'm really stoked for initial startup. I'm really excited about that. I don't know if I can do a live with that or not. We're going to see what the deal is with that. So, because I want to do a regular video with actual setup and things like that. So if there's no fuel leaks, this thing should be fine. We should be able to, like I said, hopefully by the weekend, I'm hoping to have this thing running. But a lot of sweat, a lot of thinking, not really a lot of beer. I think I had 1 beer through this whole thing. So, yeah. So that's what's up with that. I'm like half doing a thing, half looking what I need to clean up. Here's some more zip ties I need to put away. I like things neat at sometimes.
Call a
So
box on a Tuesday.
what?
Mail.
So anyway, that's what's going on. I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I'm kind of excited to see what this is going to do with initials. Initial startups are always scary, whether it's building an engine, your first pass of the year, and then especially this, when you're dealing with electronics and shit, it's always scary. So once initial startup is done, and if everything's good, then it's easier. It's real nerve-wracking sometimes, that initial startup. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to read through the book. I'm going to read through the whole process of initial startup. Excuse me. And then I'll have an idea of what's coming next. So, plus find out things too. Cycle the fuel pump, pressurize the fuel system, make sure there's no fuel leaks. With the fact that we did put new fuel injectors in it, make sure that's all good as well. So, there's still some stuff that could go wrong here. Hopefully not, but we'll wait and see. So, so that's what we're doing with that.
I actually got to play a song today at Webman.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can you guess what it was? Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
How can I guess? I don't have no idea.
Guess what it was?
Levi, I'm on thing. What?
Yes.
I will later. All right, guys. So that's the update on the old Camaro. A little more with this Holley Terminator. We're now like 21st century technology, so it should be interesting. I also want to find out too if there's a way I can run timing advance and stuff on this. As of right now, it's still we have to run locked timing mode. So I don't know. I'll have to call Holley, but I want to do initial startup first, and then go from there. If there's anything I can do with the crank trigger MSD to run advance or not. So anyway, I'll wait and see. But right now, I'm focused on initial startup. I can't wait to hear what this thing is going to sound like, and go from there. So anyway, I'm going to bug out of here. I'm going to go sit down for a little bit, and maybe I'll read over the book, try and relax a little bit. So anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for checking in and for the comments and stuff. So see what tomorrow is, if I do a live. I don't know, because I might be going out to Bloomsburg tomorrow. I don't know yet. Wait and see. But that's kind of where we're at. So anyway, as I always say, watch out for each other. Take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here on Big E's. Bye for now, guys.